When CNN's Christiana Manpur equated President Donald Trump's tenure to an attack on Jews in Nazi Germany, an attack that was seen historically as the Holocaust launch, the world moved on. She apologised and all was quickly forgotten.
This week, 82 years ago, Kristallnacht happened. It was the Nazis' warning shot across the bow of our human civilization that led to genocide against a whole identity, and in that tower of burning books, it led to an attack on fact, knowledge, history, and truth. After 4 years of a modern-day assault on those same values by Donald Trump, the Biden-Harris team pledges a return to norms.
And as far as I can see, nobody in Hollywood or anywhere else called for her to lose her job. And if you pop yourself, of course, in front of social media for a few hours, you'll likely see several users in a short period of time comparing their political opponents to the Nazis, which, by the way, is lazy and irresponsible, but you seldom ever see anyone cancelled and lose their jobs for doing so. And when CNN made the comparison, it risked diluting the severity of that most unique of evils. But as I say, I do not recall the so-called liberal left calling for cancellations here as they have in the sacking of the actress Gina Carano, the Disney actress you might have seen in the smash hit The Mandalorian. Hashtag Fire Gina Carano has been trending for months. Twitter and Hollywood have been out for her particular scalp after she refused to champion the lazy left-wing orthodoxy of much of Hollywood and our political and cultural elites. First, after it was clocked that she didn't place her pronouns inside her Twitter bio, I mean, God forbid you think she's anything other than a full-blooded woman, she took the mickey out of these people by placing boop bop beep in her name instead to anger the mob, which is actually pretty funny if you ask me, and it's amazing that that's considered brave. But according to the Daily Mail, she also called for ID to be compulsory to combat electoral fraud, which, by the way, is a position that many Conservatives have long championed, long before the Trump saga, but this meant she was ripe for cancellation. A slew of American conservative commentators then reported that Pedro Pascal, Carano's co-star in Disney's The Mandalorian, who openly cheers on Democrats on social media, which is acceptable, of course, totally okay, has also made overall comparisons to the Nazis in the past. He's still employed by them as far as I'm aware. And of course, Disney is happy to work with the likes of China, with the BBC reporting that it was caught shooting Mulan in parts of China where the government stands accused of serious human rights abuses. That's fine. Conservative actresses, though? Nah, mate, a step too far. Disney's double standards is absolutely shocking, frankly, and I, for one, have cancelled my subscription to their on-demand Disney Plus service. Do I agree with what Carano said? No, I think it was a puerile comparison, as I always do. But does she deserve to be sacked for it? No. Does she deserve to lose her livelihood for making one daft remark? No. This is what becomes of a society, I think, ultimately, that is ruled by an illiberal mob. It's far too extreme a price to pay. And I think you have to think about this carefully, folks, because the next person to be cancelled might well be you. I think we need to go back to remembering those sort of Judeo-Christian roots and remember that forgiveness is actually a virtue. Being able to move on from these things, hold up your hands and say, yeah, I said something stupid, I did something wrong. It's ridiculous what we're turning into. It's very depressing and we've got to fight back against it.